stare into the eye of existential questions posed by interesting new motorbikes. Hello, welcome back to the channel of nonsense. I'm Tim, and this is my first ride on the Triumph Speed Triple 1200 RR. And doesn't it look bloody fantastic? I wasn't too sure about it in photos of the single headlight, but in person it is beautifully put together. Look, I don't know if you can see, but there's little carbon fibre fairing stays down there. Now, this isn't a full review. I just wanted to go for lunch on it, frankly, and it's meant to snow tomorrow, so this might be my only chance to have a proper razz on it. Now, this is a confusing bike for me because the Speed Triple RS got a lot of flack for being too firm, so Triumph's put electronic suspension on this, but then given it a really uncomfortable riding position. So I do half wonder if Triumph's actually just testing the waters to see if we want electronic suspension on the upright one. I do, but anyway, let's go for a ride. I'll get my breath back because I've not been terribly well. Not COVID. Oh, riding mode switched. No, I want to go back to sport mode. I do find these Triumph menus a little bit confusing. It has gone back to sport mode. Anyway, let's go for a ride. And like I say, this is literally my first impressions. And a few questions about horse mess and gravel and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, this is a bike that many people have wanted for a long time because it is essentially, although not in name, a bit like a Daytona with the 1200cc triple, which is what people have wanted for ages. So this has got 180 horsepower and it's got what I saw the press calling a sporty-ish but slightly relaxed riding position. Admittedly, I've come from lots of adventure bike riding and naked bike riding recently, but this does not feel at all comfortable. This is a committed sports bike riding position. Okay, fine, something like an R6 is going to be more uncomfortable, but my knees are in line with my hands. It feels like it is just full race tuck, and I need to get up to speed to actually get comfortable on it. But yeah, otherwise it does feel very familiar from the Speed Triple RS. The engine sounds the same. It's got the same dash, it's got the same weight, it's got the same fuel tank size. It's, well, I say it's got the same weight, it's a kilo heavier, I think, than the naked one. But anyway, that's all waffle. I want lunch. I'm going to try to go to Newlands Corner, the biker stop, because I want a rock cake for my lunch. So I'm going to get some 60 limits, and I'll see you there. This does sound good. Wicked airbox noise, and yeah, I've done 10 or so miles off camera, and I can confirm that this is absolutely sodding rapid, as you'd expect from the 180 horsepower free revving triple that revs to about 11.5 now. And I keep saying this is not going to be a full review, and it's not. I do wonder about this engine. Although it's kind of got the power numbers that Triumph's perhaps never had, the peak horsepower numbers, sort of feel it's lost a little bit of the old triple soul, that old 1050 unit. Yes, it was heavy, yes, it was slow revving, but I often thought it came with a delicious sledgehammer of torque that would just go like this over the front wheel when you gassed it hard. This does do that, but there's so many electronics looking after you, and you have to stop to turn them off. You can't just turn wheelie control off on its own, as far as I can tell. Yeah, I kind of feel like it's just, I don't know, it's a little bit too serious. And I said that, I think, about the Speed Triple RS as well. This engine hasn't got so much, don't know, hasn't got so much instant satisfaction. You have to rev the nuts off it. Well, you don't have to, but it wants you to rev the nuts off it, and then you end up going very, very fast indeed with a great noise. It's a lot more modern, I guess. It's a modern interpretation of a big capacity triple in a sporty chassis, and the chassis is brilliant. I think we knew that anyway, but it also just laughs at your attempts to go around corners quickly. On the road it feels as if, you know, you're not going fast enough to make the most of it, and if you were going fast enough to make the most of it, you would probably be in prison fairly soon. It's that quick, and it's that well planted, and the electronic suspension, I have to say, it's doing a great job of smoothing out bumps that the normally suspended Speed Triple RS does not do. So yeah, there's less kind of jackhammer pounding my perineum, more like a a dove with a pillow, just smothering my sphincter until it goes to sleep forever. But yeah, anyway, onwards, let's do some more sporty riding, and I'll tell you more about it. It certainly satisfies my Daytona 675 noise craving, having my head so close to the tank. God, the chassis is so good as well. Really flicks left and right super easily. There's no having to drop your elbows to really get weight onto the clip-on. I should be wearing my one-piece leathers, but it's meant to snow tomorrow, and it's already getting a little bit nippy. Goodness. Yeah, I mean, it's certainly a serious chassis, a serious engine. It looks beautiful, and I guess that's the whole thing about this bike, is it's about desirability. It is £18,000, so it's £2.5 more than the Speed Triple RS. Red is 300 quid extra. I guess it feels like Triumph is testing the waters a bit. Do people actually want a big bore Daytona? Is it worth developing one? I guess this is a bit of a test. I've got a hunch that this isn't going to sell in huge numbers. The riding position, I've got used to it now and I'm hanging on my knees, but the riding position is reasonably uncompromising. It isn't as hardcore as some sports bikes, but it's still putting all the weight on my wrists. I don't know, I could do miles on this, but do you want to be in this position? I'm not sure. Triumph's target audience, I kind of feel, is a little bit on the comfier side of sporty, which I guess this is a bit. But yeah, feels a little bit like a marketing exercise this, but I'm enjoying it. It makes a nice noise and it looks phenomenal. The finish on this is something that I'll talk about in the review, but it just looks $1 million. Like when this was parked outside my house the other day, I came back from dropping the kids off at childcare, came back to find it being delivered, and I had to stop and actually stare at it for a bit, because this colour and this shape are just amazing. Really lovely thing. So yeah, my first impressions of this really are, it's kind of the sum of its parts, really. The electronic suspension adds a plushness to it, but then that's taken away in an extreme riding position. It's expensive, and it's very fast, and the engine, you end up riding it a little bit like an inline 4. Well, I guess a V4 is probably more fair. It's got more mid-range than an inline 4. And you don't have to chase that red line, but to get the noise you do have to chase the red line. Then you end up going very fast, which isn't, you know, suitable on the road. But anyway, that's probably enough waffle. I'm gonna go and get my rock cake. Thank you for watching. If this has been helpful, let me know in the comments and I'll get my full review up in the next week or so, if it doesn't bloody snow for the rest of the time that I've got with this bike. If it does snow and I don't manage to get another video out, yeah, interesting thing. See previous comments. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please like this channel. Please like this channel. I'm rubbish at YouTube. Please like this video. Comment. Call me a Thai bride, and I'll see you next time for more noise and waffle and nonsense, and hopefully rock cakes as well. Goodbye. I'm going to wait to this GoPro because that one's decided to leave this mortal plane.